Hello and good morning. I started a video, it got up to 14 minutes, and I realized that I was just rambling. So I'm going to try again and be a little more stay on topic. Today's the 19th, it's day 62. Tomorrow will be day 63, that puts us at 9 weeks, I think, for no video games, and we're 28 days shy of the 90 days off. My video game is coming up. My birthday's coming up soon, and I'm still deciding on whether or not I want to indulge on my birthday. It's definitely going to be less than 90 days for video games, and it's going to be less than 90 days for dope as well. But we're talking about doing some fungus among us. Yeah, taking some mushrooms and sitting outside in the sun and talking shit and hanging out and listening to tunes and drinking water, and that's something I've been looking forward to doing. It's been a while since I've been able to do psychedelics with a friend, and last time I did it I had a really good time. We went to an art studio. I think this time around it's just going to be sort of sit and chat and kind of mull ideas over. I think we'll probably have to put some ground rules in about what ideas we can talk about, because I'm not going to get into politics on mushrooms, that's for damn sure, and certainly nothing to do with society problems, right? I'm not going to get into any of that. It's just so easy to focus on those kinds of things, and I feel like if you're tripping at the same time, those conversations are going to suck. Although, to be perfectly honest, whenever I've done mushrooms, if I've had intention, right? Like if I've had intention, I'll come up with a list. Right here, this is everything that I came up with the last time I did shrooms. I had a list of questions, and I got a bunch of good answers, whether it was from the universe or God or myself or whatever. I came up with some good answers to those questions, and those good answers have been helping me along the way. But, excuse me, I think when you're just freestyling it and doing slightly higher doses, it tends to be more, it's taking you where it wants to go, and you can kind of set the environment for it and then go with it. So I'm leaning towards not indulging. I don't think it would be a good idea to cut myself off before the 90-day goal, even if it is my birthday. But yeah, still deciding on that. Body's sore. Ran around a lot yesterday. Did a couple of games. Did a couple of rugby games. And feeling it this morning, I notice whenever I'm more sinusy when I wake up, that's when my body's telling me, okay, you need to rest. So won't be working out tonight, won't be doing anything majorly physical. The plan will be to drink as much water as possible, get a lot of calories in, and just sort of stay busy as much as possible without, hurting myself. I'm a little concerned about what's going on in Minneapolis right now. As a resident of this country, it pains me to see how much leeway we've been giving to the mainstream media and to these politicians that are calling for these horrific things to happen if decisions don't go their way. The word I use is race grifters, people who have built their identity and their commercial viability on the presence of and the exploration and dissemination of the idea that there is, various types of racism. It saddens me that race grifters, even 200 years on, 250 years on, 300 years on even, that race grifters still have such a poisonous and parasitic hold on society. I don't think there's anything wrong with some political agitation, but what these people do is they take it much further than that. What they do does not proactively help the communities that they say it does. And we can see this because their rise in prominence has not correlated with a rise in situation for the communities that they represent. But it has correlated in a rise in their prominence and their assets and their wealth. And I think that's the key to understanding that is, people like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Maxine Waters, Ta-Nehisi Coates, their prominence in society and their ability to generate revenue from their work rises as society continues to believe the lies that are being fed them. And the notion of put it to rest is completely out the window now. We don't even consider put it to rest. It's stir it up, get that zombie corpse up and animate it and get it out into the public, and then go, look, see, it's alive. the literal Frankenstein's monster of social issues, whether it's racism or misogyny or Islamophobia or whatever it is. We take a small chunk of what happened, a very small chunk, a chunk that cannot be correlated with or connected to any greater systemic issue because of the uniqueness of the interaction, and then we use that as the lightning strike to reanimate the corpse and bring it back up again, shambling along. Anyway, it concerns me. That's as far as I'll go with it. I'm concerned about the outcome of that trial. Regardless of what happens, my prediction is that shit will go down. There will be rioting and looting and burning and all the usual mayhem, and it'll either be mostly peaceful or it'll be mostly peaceful, according to the news media, who are determined to make sure that no one ever takes accountability for their actions unless it's a person of a specific skin color. As far as the quitting video games is concerned, I haven't really had any cravings recently. I think I've been too busy to have cravings, and I talked a little bit last week about how being out of the funk of marijuana and not needing quite so much to stimulate feeling good has opened up other ideas for hobbies for me. The planting the trees one, which is, I keep saying it's going to happen. It's been a week and a half now. But I'll be getting onto building that starting to build it this morning and then finishing it probably tomorrow. But that's an example of that, where I've been able to replace these very interactive, very exciting hobbies with hobbies that are less interactive and less exciting, but I believe have more long-term viability. Getting into gardening and getting into trees and stuff is something that I witnessed my parents do, and they had success with it because it made the homes that we lived in beautiful. When we had trees growing up around our houses, it was beautiful. If I have a hobby of video gaming and that's my main hobby that I have, that doesn't beautify my house at all. And if you buy disc plates, of your favorite game characters as a 40-year-old man, and you're posting that up around your house, well, I mean, come on, you're turning your house into looking like a frat dorm room with the Mario poster up next to the Sports Illustrated model. This is a frat dorm room from the late 90s. But you get the idea. These other hobbies, like refereeing, for example, and continuing to work out and developing my coaching skills with my friends, and the gardening, getting these flowers in as well, and seeing them come up and seeing them bloom and seeing that sort of year to year beauty happening, and learning how it all works, like how to beautify the space around you with things that nature has provided us is rewarding, and I want to pursue it because it's long-term rewarding, not just immediately rewarding. And that's what I got with video games, was that immediacy. you can switch on the Xbox and be deep in it within 2 minutes. You can be deep within it. Whereas with planting, it's a longer, slower burn, and I've noticed that long, slow burn is a good way to look at doing things in general. Even though life is short, we should certainly have a sense of urgency about things. Taking things slowly and appreciating them slowly is more sustainable than trying to take things in a rushed way. And I've never been a patient person, so it's character building and instructive in how to overcome that impatience as well. So, yeah. Anyway. And then as far as the drugs go, like I said, I'm sort of leaning more towards not. I had a dream that I smoked up after Angie asked me about it. She said, "Do you think you'll smoke after you do shrooms on your birthday?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Normally I would, but I didn't the last time I did it, and I don't think I will this time either. I think I'm going to try to stay away from it. It's one of those things where all it takes is one slip." So, yeah. Anyway, I don't think there's anything really else in here, is there? No. No, I think that's it. Fingers crossed there's some responsibility. Fingers crossed people demonstrate personal accountability and a little bit of restraint tonight, regardless of what the outcome is. But I'm not counting my chickens. I've been watching what's happening in Portland and what's been happening in Minnesota, and I feel bad for people that live in those communities. I really do. People who have no intention or interest in going out and causing the problems. They're the ones that are going to end up paying the most for this, because most of these people that are doing the damage in these situations, they're not fucking taxpayers. They're not. They don't have a vested interest in keeping civilization going. They want to see it burn because they're deeply unhappy. And until we address that one way or the other, it will continue. So, anyway, chin up, lads. This country's still a good country to live in, and there's still a lot of really good things out there that you can get involved in and that you can do. So, no matter what the news media is telling you about things, just ignore it. Go after what you want. Ka kite.